Exodus chapter 32. As the people observed Moses' delay in descending from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron and said to him, "Come, make us gods to lead us, because this Moses, who brought us up from the land of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." Aaron told them, "Remove the gold earrings from your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me." So all the people took off their golden earrings and brought them to Aaron. He received the gold from their hands and fashioned it with a tool. After shaping it, he made it into a molten calf, and they declared, "Israel, these are your gods who brought you up from the land of Egypt." When Aaron saw this, he built an altar before the calf and proclaimed, "Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord." Early the next day, the people offered burnt offerings and presented peace offerings. They sat down to eat and drink, and then got up to indulge in revelry. The Lord said to Moses, "Go, descend from here, for your people whom you brought out of the land of Egypt have acted corruptly. They quickly turned from the way I commanded them. They have made for themselves a molten calf and have bowed down to it. They have offered sacrifices to it, and said, 'These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up from the land of Egypt.'" The Lord said to Moses, "I have seen this people, and they are indeed a stiff-necked people. Now leave me alone, so that my anger may burn against them and consume them. Then I will make you into a great nation." But Moses sought the favor of the Lord his God. He pleaded, "O Lord, why does your anger burn against your people, whom you brought out of the land of Egypt with great power and a mighty hand? Why should the Egyptians say, 'He brought them out with evil intentions, to kill them in the mountains and wipe them from the face of the earth'? Turn from your fierce anger and relent from doing harm to your people. Remember your servants Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, to whom you swore by your own self, 'I will multiply your descendants like the stars of heaven, and I will give your descendants all this land that I have promised, and it will be their inheritance forever.'" So the Lord relented from the disaster he had threatened to bring upon his people. Then Moses turned and went down from the mountain with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hands. They were inscribed on both sides, front and back. The tablets were the work of God, and the writing was the writing of God, engraved upon the tablets. As Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said to Moses, "There is a sound of war in the camp." Moses replied, "It is not the sound of victory, nor is it the sound of defeat. I hear the sound of singing." When Moses approached the camp and saw the calf and the dancing, his anger burned, and he threw the tablets out of his hands, smashing them at the base of the mountain. He took the calf they had made, burned it in the fire, ground it to powder, scattered it on the water, and made the Israelites drink it. Moses asked Aaron, "What did these people do to you, that you have led them into such a great sin?" "Do not let your anger burn hot, my lord," Aaron replied. "You know that the people are inclined to evil. They said to me, 'Make us gods who will go before us.' As for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has happened to him. So I told them, 'Whoever has gold, let them take it off.' They gave it to me, and I threw it into the fire, and out came this calf." When Moses saw that the people were running wild, for Aaron had let them run wild to the derision of their enemies, he stood at the entrance to the camp and said, "Whoever is for the Lord, come to me." And all the Levites gathered around him. He told them, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says, 'Put every man his sword on his side. Go back and forth from gate to gate throughout the camp, and kill his brother, his friend, and his neighbor.'" The Levites did as Moses commanded, and that day about 3,000 of the people fell dead. Then Moses said, "Consecrate yourselves to the Lord today, for each of you has been against his son and his brother, so that he may bestow a blessing upon you today." On the next day Moses said to the people, "You have committed a grave sin. Now I will go up to the Lord, perhaps I can make atonement for your sin." So Moses returned to the Lord and said, "Oh, what a great sin these people have committed! They have made gods of gold for themselves. Yet now, if you will only forgive their sin, but if not, please blot me out of the book that you have written." The Lord replied to Moses, "Whoever has sinned against me, I will blot out of my book. Now go, lead the people to the place I told you. Behold, my angel will go before you. Nevertheless, when the time comes for me to punish, I will punish them for their sin." The Lord struck the people with a plague because of the calf Aaron had made.